Hey, thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I'm glad you made it. We have another piece of legislation being introduced. And look, this is the way that it works. Legislation gets introduced. Typically, there's some chime in from the veteran service organizations, some awareness aspects that happen with regard to veterans or veteran service organizations, informing Congress of different things that need to be fixed with regard to the different laws or benefits that we have out there. Then the congressional members on the House or the Senate side go, you know what? That's right. I agree with that. Let's throw together a piece of legislation and see if we can kick that across the finish line. So it's up to us then at that point to help to get it to pass the finish line. How do we do that? We reach out to our congressional members, both on the House and the Senate side, and we say, hey, I'm veteran so-and-so, and I really support X, right? I want you to support it too, right? And the more of us that do that, and it doesn't have to just be veterans, right? If you have a spouse, adult children that live in that or live anywhere really, reach out to their representatives as well and echo that same message. You can do it in person. You can swing by their office and tell a staffer. You can call. You can do it by email. You could do it on their website where you just want to communicate with your congressional members team. But any way you do it, you need to do it so they can tally it up and go, hey, there's a lot of people that are really interested in this. This might be something you need to do. We've all seen loud voices, right, get heard. Quiet mouths don't get fed, right? So this is we need to be better at being loud. So anyway, let's jump into this. I'm going to go ahead and read the headline here, and we'll jump into it. So Senator Moran joins colleagues in introducing legislation requiring VA to consider continuity of care. This just came out July 29th of 2024, and it's essentially a press release on the Senator's Veterans Affairs Committee website. And what I want you to do here, please hit the thumbs up, subscribe, share with a friend, all that good stuff. I really appreciate it. The two ask, let the video run, and hit the thumbs up. Both of those things don't cost you a nickel. And if you do want to support the channel in other ways, consider being a member. You can do that. Go to the homepage. You'll see highlighted members and a join button. Thank you so much to all of you members. All right, let's jump into this. U.S. Senator Jerry Moran, ranking member of the Senate Veterans Affairs Committee, joined Senator Marco Rubio in introducing legislation to require the Department of Veterans Affairs to consider continuity of health care when deciding whether seeing a provider in the community is in the veteran's best medical interest. Under current law, there are several criteria that VA is required to take into account when determining whether it is in a veteran's best medical interest to seek care outside of a VA medical facility. The Ensuring Continuity in Veterans Health Act, that's the name of the act. So if you want to support it, you want to support Ensuring Continuity in Veterans Health Act. So this act would add continuity of care to that criteria, which would help veterans who have been engaged in care in the community be able to continue receiving treatment from their community care provider. Why is that important? Let me tell you why. I have seen this multiple times, and I believe I've seen it in comments on the channel. I've also read about it. So what's happening here is back when the Mission Act established basically the ability for veterans to really seek community care if the VA couldn't provide it within a certain time frame or within a certain distance from the veteran's home. So this worked out pretty well, and that went into law. However, the VA seems to have reeled that back a little bit. And according to some quotes that we've seen from, I believe it was Sharif Ellenhall, if I remember right, I could be wrong, said something to the effect of, let's not make it easy for veterans to seek community care. Do all we can to get them to be seen in-house. And I get it. Look, from a business standpoint, you don't want to send all your customers somewhere else, right? Because then what are you there for? You want them to be there. So I do get that. However, I'm also all about a veteran being able to make decisions, right? Medical decisions for themselves, who they want to see, all that good stuff. So here's the problem. Some of the requirements, like, let's say a facility's time frame, right? How fast they can see you as a veteran, or how far away it is. There's 2 different kind of versions there. Those are typically the things you're going to see. There's other ways you can get community care, but those are kind of the 2 big ones. So, one, let's pretend that there's a VA clinic down the street from you that provides the care, but they're so backed up because they're short-staffed, right? So you couldn't get seen within the time frame allotted. So you were allowed to go to community care. So you started going to community care for whatever your ailment is. You've built rapport, you've got a relationship with this doctor, and a year and a half goes by, and then all of a sudden, VA's back up to speed and they have staffing, and now they can see you within that time frame. The VA says, hey, you don't have eligibility now to go see that doctor because now we can see you within 2 weeks or whatever it is. So they eliminate your ability to continue that treatment with that doctor, even though you and that doctor have a tremendous relationship now and history. One of the most disturbing one of those was for me anyway to hear was mental health. You're seeing a mental health provider, whatever titles they are, and for the last year and a half or 2 years, and you have all of this relationship that's built and a comfortability and you can be vulnerable and all that type of stuff, right? And then all of a sudden the VA says, oh yeah, no, we can see you now, so you have to stop seeing that person because we're not going to pay for it, and you got to come in here and start over, right? For mental health. Dumb. It's just dumb. So this plays into that hugely. The other aspect is the VA build a new clinic or a health facility closer to you. So now, all of a sudden, it's not the distance aspect anymore. So now they say, well, now we just built one down the street from you. You have to come here. So that it would be another aspect. Now, look, if it's just general care, whatever, most people don't care. But if it's something kind of specialized, right, or mental health, something that's just extremely vulnerable, probably I would think that continuity of care would play a huge factor. So I'm really actually excited about this. The Ensuring Continuity in Veterans Health Act. I think that this does need to pass. So let's move on here. There's a couple quotes. We'll wrap it up. So moving on here, it says, I am hearing from more and more veterans in Kansas and across the country who are finding it harder to receive the care they are entitled to from VA and who are being cut from their community partners, said Senator Moran. This legislation would help veterans maintain care with doctors and nurses they have come to trust by requiring VA to take continuity of care into account when evaluating veterans for community care referrals. I am thankful to my colleague, Senator Rubio, for introducing this legislation and for his support for our nation's veterans. Next quote, our veterans have sacrificed so much for this country and often have PTSD or other mental health issues as a result, said Senator Rubio. Addressing mental health issues takes trust and time. The Ensuring Continuity in Veterans Health Act will ensure our veterans can continue receiving care from their long-term providers that they have established a trusted relationship with. The legislation was also co-sponsored by a multitude of other senators. Let's see, Senator John Cornyn, Tuberville, Tillis, Blackburn, Lankford, Thune, Cruz, Scott. Senator Moran recently worked to make certain a veteran from Manhattan, Kansas, who had been receiving cancer treatment in the community was allowed to continue his treatment in the community rather than travel an hour to and from the Topeka VA Medical Center for his final 2 treatments. Senator Moran discussed this issue on the Senate floor. His remarks can be searched on Google, and you can find that there as well. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. If you support this, reach out to your congressional members, both on the Senate and House side. Let them know that you support this act, and have your family do it as well. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. Have a great one. And remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.